Timekeepers ready. Competitors set, go. Away we go in for their one and only sheep, the novice grade here, the introductory grade at Competition Shearing New Zealand. Oh, looks like we've got the bellies off. That's fantastic for our learner shearers. Looking maybe some of them to carry on with the shearing career in the future, Kerry. But great to see them up here on the big Golden Shears stage here at Masterton in 2020, having a crack at the 60th anniversary show.
Yeah, for sure, Norm. It's where a lot of these novice shearers, obviously, that's where they start their shearing career. And who knows, in times to come, we might even have a world champion. It's you never know.
Yeah, well, one thing's for sure, Kerry, all world champions in the past started here. They never went straight into the open, that's for sure. They start in the lower grades. Stand number one from France, Emilien. Works his way down the first hind leg. Tyler Hitter from Onefero. She's on stand number two into the first hind leg as well. Tyler's a very good, one of our very good young up-and-coming wool handlers. Cody Lambert round the back of the head might be out there the front, or no. Imogen Opborn from Devon down there on stand number 5. She's sweeping around in towards the long blow. Clearing off the back of the head is Savannah King. And rounding up the field, Penny Wilson. So a lot of girls on the shearing stands we're seeing nowadays, Kerry. Fantastic to see, isn't it? And they're getting a bit of airtime too with the 4-stand record just completed. Huge effort from those girls, and I'm sure those sort of things help attract some of our girls up here onto the competition stage, and in fact onto the boards around the country at work.
Yeah, it's really great to see these young female competitors, and they really do bring something to the sport that our male competitors just don't. They're probably better looking for a start, but
I'll have to agree with you there.
It's one of the few sports in the world where the females actually compete right next to the males, and off the top of my head I can't actually recall another sport in the world where they do so. But back to the shearing board, and as these young Tyler, stand number 2 up and round the shoulder she works. Young Cody there on 3, works his way around the shoulder. Takes the trimming on the bottom side of the leg, and down the last side he goes. Just one sheep in the pen for these novice shearers. And down into the long blow goes the young fella from France, down here on stand 1. So the novices, obviously, it's maybe their first show. So it's really it is an introductory grade into the shearing industry. So there will be a few nerves around the place, Norm, I don't doubt. But once these competitors get up here and get underway, I'm sure that the nerves will take care of themselves. So down and out the flank goes the young lady from Devon. Out to the tips of the toe she goes. Penny Wilson down here on 6. Down and out the flank she goes. And there we go, young Cody. Well done, Cody. And
so hit your time clock button when you finish, competitors. Imogen, I think, make sure you hit your time clock button there up on the wall, just above the Imogen, hit your time clock button if you can hear me down there on stand 5. Good girl. So just a reminder to our competitors, you've got to stop your own clock. And Penny Wilson down there. All done and dusted. Finishing touches for our Frenchman up here on stand number 1. And Tyler Beautifully shorn sheep there, Kerry. Look at the finish on that. Right out to the toe she rolls. Another couple of blows for Tyler, and she's going to be looking for the cord. Look at the finish on that sheep, folks.
Absolutely beautiful. Well, tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, give her a big hand. That is a very, very well shorn sheep. There we go. That does complete the first one.
We have Lily Dell, Ben McDonald, Emma Martin, Wairarapa Walker, Bigger Hughes, Jasmine Cook. If you'd like to hold up to the stage, please. All competitors to leave to the far end, down to number 6. Thank you.
So up onto the stage they come. Jasmine Cook on stand number 6. Biggie Hughes on 5. Wairarapa Walker on 4. Emma Martin on 3. Ben McDonald on 2. Lily Dale on stand number 1.
Then we have heat 6 with the Novice Shearing, Rex Pearson, Lucky Garrett, Josh Hosania, Tyrone Oliver, Connor McIntyre, and Hamish McKenzie assemble down to the left of the stage, please, just so that we can keep everything rolling. That's heat 3.
So we'll set this field alight as soon as we get the green light from down the back, and another 6 shearers will be vying for a spot in the top 18. 3 heat semi-final, which will be held this evening. And the Coopers novice shearing heats. A lot of heats to get through. With the thumbs up from the referee, we'll just get the green light from down the back and we'll be underway. 6 shearers, all Kiwis this time. So we just have a problem with the counter on stand 4. That'll be what the hold up is. Just, they've still got a red light, so they'll be sorting that out down the back, no doubt. So Shearer's just nervously waiting. As soon as we get the computer side of it sorted, we'll be underway. Great to see a good crowd here on Wednesday afternoon, Kerry. It's first afternoon of this year's 60th anniversary celebration of the Golden Shears. So great to see a lot of people here enjoying themselves.
Yeah, great crowd and great entries too. Great entries. I think all our grades are pretty much full from what I understand. So we're still waiting for a green light from the back.
And so we're just talking about the semi-finals of the novice. We do have a evening session here this evening. We have the Student Shearing Challenge, the Novice Shearing Semi-Final, and the Novice Woolhandling Semi-Final. Along with Junior Woolhandling Semis. And a couple of woolhandling, or a couple of finals, the Novice Woolhandling Final and the Novice Shearing Final. That'll be this evening's sessions, so that's something to look forward to. We don't usually have a Wednesday evening session. We actually don't usually have a Wednesday session at all here at the Golden Shears. We have the green light, ladies and gentlemen, so all shearers at the door, please. Timekeepers ready. Competitors set, go. Away we go, Kerry. Heat 2 it is up on the board.
Rightio, heat number 2. Once again, we're looking for that top 18 shearers to go through to our 3-heat semi-final. Once again, these competitors will have 1 sheep to shear. And of Off the way they go, down the first leg. There'll be a few nerves poking around the place at the moment, these young shearers, so they'll be a little bit nervous, one would say, but it's all about how you handle the nerves, isn't it, Norm? It's, once you get up there, you'll be good as gold, I'd say. So young Ben McDonald, first one to step up the neck. Jasmine Cook down there on stand 6, she steps up the neck as well. Up the neck, stands 2, stands 6. Bigger Q's up the neck, he goes as well. Breaks the neck wall open, and they'll work their way around the shoulder. Young Lily from Gisborne finishes the undermine for her. Takes that top knot off, and she'll step away up the neck, and up the neck she'll go. Biggie Hughes, up and round the shoulder he goes. Jasmine Cook down and into the long blow. Ben McDonald right there as well. Works his way around the long blow. Stands 2s and stands 6, leading the way at the moment. By Wairarapa. Down and into the long blow he goes. Emma Martin, a good Southland girl there, Norm. Great to see these competitors coming up.
Oh, it certainly is. Done a few miles, so great to see her up here having a go. And from all over the world, the competitors come here to the Golden Shears, arguably the premier shearing competition in the world. And last side time for young Ben McDonald.
Down and out the flank he goes. The young fella on stand number 2, ladies and gentlemen. In this novice shearing heat, as I said, we are looking for that top 18. Just a reminder to those shearers, just be mindful to press your button. There we go. Radio Ben. I think you press your button. Press your button, Ben. Good boy.
That's the way competitors remember to press your time clock button. And Jasmine right out onto the back leg, down there on stand number 6. Wairarapa Walker. Finishing touches as well on 4. So make sure you push your button. They've done so. And out the sheep goes. Another couple of shots for that bigger fella down there, Bigger Hughes. Sheep just having a bit of a ding-dong with him, but he's got it under control. Heads forward, well done. Nicely stopped. And Lily up here on stand number 1. Speaking of ding-dong battles, there's one going on there as well, but got it settled, back in position, and away she goes. So Bigger, finishing touches over the tail. There's a wee second cut the judge would have penalised them for. Well done, Bigger. So second cut, Kerry. Just when the comb rides off the skin of the sheep a wee bit, leaves a bit of fluff behind. When they go back and cut the fluff off, that's what we call a second cut. And it's a shearing fault. It gets mixed up with the good full-length wool and devalues the fleece. So they get penalised for making second cuts. And, of course, once it goes out the hole and out to the judges out the back, if they don't take that bit of fluff off and leave it on, Kerry, it's called a ridge or a lump of wool on the sheep, so they get penalised out the back as well. So Emma Martin finishing touches on stand number 3. Heat 2 this is. Heat number 3, they need to be ready at the foot of the stairs or just under our desk. Rex Pearson, Lucky Garrett, Josh Kosniak, Tyrone Oliver, Connor McIntyre and Hamish McKenzie. You guys need to be ready to go. And It's heat 3, but we'll just get Lily, get her sheep sorted out. So the judges give it a wee bit of hand, which is absolutely fine in a novice grade. We would rather that Lily gets all the wool off her sheep in a nice fashion than have it boot her all over the board. They're pretty aggressive. Beautiful line of sheep from Te Mātai. Big thanks to the team out there once again for supporting us by supplying sheep to the novice shearing. Yes, yes. Thank you very much. So Lily under the front leg, cleans the fibs off. She knows where to look. A wee bit left under there, so off they come. Keeping the judges out the back happy. And she's got a niggly sheep, of course, so she's doing the right thing, just pulling the head forward a wee bit. Right out on the back leg, Kerry. She'll bring heat number 2 to a close very shortly.
Yeah, she's shearing well. That sheep certainly give her a bit of a tickle up there, didn't it? Oh, look, she's shorn pretty well, really, to be fair. That sheep wasn't easy, but I think in the circumstance she's actually dealt very well with it. But down and out the flank she goes, and finishing touches for her. Just remember to stop your time clock, Lily, after you've finished, and a couple more blows for her. Ladies and gentlemen, there we go. Give her a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. Lily Daly.
Right, go. If we move into heat 3, once Lily's done, could we have Rex Pearson, Lucky Garrett, Josh Hosniak, Tyrone Oliver, Colin McIntyre, Hamish McKenzie up on the board, please. Heat 4, Tiana Phillips, Alex Argyle, Regan Harris, Alex Fitzpatrick, Anakin Eastwood, and John O'Hicks. That'll be heat 4. Over to you guys.
Thanks, Nuki. And they'll get themselves sorted out, get the gear sorted. We'll just get the last of the sheep judged out the back, and so the points come through to the computer. We'll be underway very shortly with heat number 3. Another 6 shearers up on the stage. Quite repetitive, the old shearing game, and competitions are no different at this level and at this stage of the game and the heats. But it's like you said earlier, Kerry, there's some nerves up there. It's not very repetitive for the people that are up there on the stage. Just how you handle it that counts. And a green light we have, and our referee, where's our referee? You right, Mark? Just making sure that all the boys are happy, he's happy. Let's get going then. Tyrone, hand piece down, hand on the door. Let's wind into it. Heat number 3 it is. Timekeepers ready. Competitors set, go. Away we go, in and out with their one and only sheep. Rex Pearson on stand number 1. Just gets it set into position. Lucky Garrett, young girl there from Ekatahuna on stand 2. Josh Koziniak from Tikakino on stand number 3. And Tyrone Oliver, he's got the haircut. Yeah, gotta love a mullet, ladies and gentlemen. Connor McIntyre on stand number 5, down the first hind leg. Hamish McKenzie does the same on stand 6. That's a lineup, all looking for a spot in the three heat semi-final tonight. Something to look forward to for our young up-and-coming shearers, Kerry.
Yep, that's right, Norm. And as I said, we are looking for that top 18. The question is, who will it be? All these shearers so far probably deserve a spot in that 18, but some of these shearers are going to shear pretty well and be happy with the way they shear and still miss out. But that's just the nature of the competition we have, and it's a little bit harsh, really, but as I said, it's just the nature of the competition, and it's great to see 70 entries in this novice grade. So it will be a very challenging grade to come through and go home with that first prize, but time will tell who that will be. So these sheep are big, strong ewes, and they definitely take a bit of holding on to by these competitors. Young Josh leaning away at the moment, finishes the long blow, and he'll take the cheek well and down and over the brisket he goes. Young Tyrone down there on 4. Business in the front, party in the back, that boy. Down and into the long blow he goes. Young Josh under their final shoulder, leading the way at the moment. Probably the quickest time we've seen so far. Under their final shoulder, doing a very, very good job of that sheep too. Down and out the flank. Out to the tips of the toes he goes. Isn't that a beautifully shorn sheep, Norm, eh? Look at that one, you can almost see your reflection in his face. Down and out the flank, finishing touches for him. Just a reminder, these competitors, to check your time clock. And young Josh, you'll be looking for his pull cord. There we go, Josh, push your time clock too, mate. Well done. Down and into the long blow goes pretty much the rest of these competitors. Rix Pearson, a local boy. Stand number 1, finishes the long blow for him. Boy around the shoulders, he goes Lucky. Down and into the long blow she goes. Stands 4, 5 and 6, pretty much right there with each other. Finishes the long blow. Down and over the shoulder goes Tyrone and Connor. Hamish McKenzie down there on stand number 6. He'll finish the long blow. Takes the cheek well and down and over the brisket he goes. But the next one home, and this third heat of the Sidecton Novice Shearing, ladies and gentlemen, will be the man on stand number 1. Down and out the flank he goes. Finishing touches for him. And we will look for the cord. And just a reminder, look for that time clock too, Rex. And there we go. Well, Sean, my man.
Keeping the judges happy, that's for sure. So this is heat 3. Heat number 4, they need to be up at the front of the stage, please. Tiana Phillips, Alex Argyle, Regan Harris, Alex Kirkpatrick, Lincoln Eastwood, and John O'Hicks. You need to be up ready to rock and roll. Down the last side, some of these competitors, or they're all coming down the last side. Lucky Garrett, down she paws. Hopefully her name is how she rolls and gets through into the top 18 is Tyrone, all done and dusted, the big fella there. Connor McIntyre as well. Out the hole with a well-shorn sheep. Last leg time for Lucky. Last side time for Hamish McKenzie down there on stand number 6. Under the leg. Sheep gives a bit of a kick and a wriggle. Looks like it's a wee bit ticklish on that last side for him. And Lucky making an absolutely beautiful job on stand number 2. Just pulls the head forward to keep it under control at this level. It's not such a bad thing to be doing. And Lucky over the tail. Ooh, it's the time clock. Don't think the judges are going to be taking too long to check that one over. And through the head comes for Hamish McKenzie as well down there on stand number 6. Just shuffle back a wee bit, Hamish, and she'll sit there for you. Right out onto the back leg. Another couple of shots. The big Te Mātai U just sitting there nicely for her. Once again, a big thanks to the team out at Te Mātai. Beautifully presented sheep here for the Golden Shears, as you'd expect. And well done. Give them a hand, folks. Heat number 3, that was. And out that one goes of Hamish's to be judged. We'll get heat 4 on the board, please. Jono Hicks down on stand 6. Lincoln Eastwood on 5. Alex Kirkpatrick on 4. Regan Harris on 3. Alex Argyle on 2. And Tiana Phillips on stand 1. They can take the stage, please. So the next heat, heat 5. Heat 5. Just got to study some of these names for a minute or two. Heat 5 will be Haora King, Irowiti King, Masa Osawara from Japan, Hana Osawara from Japan, Chief Whakaoi, Manu Didsbury, and that is heat 5. You shearers need to make your way to the front of the stage, please. And heat 4 it is up there. Just waiting for the green light for all the judging to be done out the back. Once that's done, the results will come through. They can stick it in the computer or give us the green light and we'll set these guys on fire. Thumbs up from the referee. Thanks, Mark Barracliff, our board referee up here on this. And a green light we have. Heat number 4 it is, boys and girls. Timekeepers ready. Competitors set, go. And away we go. A full field this time from the North Island. All these competitors. Tiana Phillips from Tumuranui. Alex Argyle from Palmerston North. Regan Harris from Glen Murray. Alex Kirkpatrick from Tikakino. Lincoln Eastwood from Gisborne. And Jono Hicks down there on stand number 6 from Martin, looking for a spot in the top 18. The top 18 shearers will compete in the 3-heat semi-final tonight. So 70 shearers down to 18. That's a pretty cool cut. Kerry. That's what's happening. So they need to know that they've got to put their best foot forward in the heats.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And it's just a heads up to anyone coming. You just really cannot sit here and go home wondering. If you're a competitor still to come, you really got to get up there and just give it everything you got, because this is Golden Shears, ladies and gentlemen. It is the world's biggest shearing event. You don't want to go home from this show thinking, oh, what if I did this? What if I did that? Don't do that. I'm telling you now. You want to go home knowing bloody well that you've given it everything you've got. And up the neck goes all the 6 shearers, right with each other this field, this North Island field. Leading the way would be probably Alex Argyle almost at the moment. Up and round the back of the shoulders they work. As I said, looking for the top 18, and it will be a pretty brutal cut, but as I said, that is the nature of the sport. Up and round the shoulders they go. Regan Harris, my first one to drop down into the long blow, he goes. Up and round the shoulders. And down and into the long blow goes our young lady Tiana Phillips on 1. Works their way around the shoulder. Regan Harris. Little bit of a niggle there. That's under control again. Alex Kirkpatrick finishes the long blade. He goes. Works his way around that shoulder. On his one and only qualifying sheep. All these shearers, once again, as I said, we're looking for that top 18. It will be a brutal cut. Down and into the long blow. Alex Argyle, he'll finish the long blow. Down and out the flank. Goes Alex Kirkpatrick. Out to the tips of the toes, he goes. Ooh. Tiana Phillips. A little bit of a niggler there, but under control again, very, very well shown too. But the first one home will be the man on stand number 4, ladies and gentlemen. And there we go. Alex Kirkpatrick, well shown, my man. Good boy. Remember pressing that time clock. And that leaves 5 shearers, ladies and gentlemen. Tiana having a bit of a foxtrot, bit of a waltz there on stand 1. Doing a good job too. Got it under control again. Very, very challenging sheep these, aren't they, Norm? Beautifully grown out sheep too. They're a credit to the farmer.
Oh, they certainly are. Top line of sheep, no doubt about that. Great stockman out there at Te Mātai, but yeah, a bit of a challenge, a bit of a handful for some of these competitors. That one of Tiana's there just didn't want to leave her alone, but she's doing well, just keeping it in position, and she has got herself now where she can bring its head through. She'll just shuffle back a wee bit. Don't mean to say that sheep's finished with her. And they love cutting loose with the back legs on the last side. So Regan Harris, all done and dusted. Finishing touches there for Alex Argyle and Tiana Phillips. Last side time for Lincoln Eastwood and John O'Hicks. There goes Tiana. Ooh, trying to hang on to the sheep and reach for the cord at the same time. Not always easy. Alex Argyle. Out his one goes as well, the young man from Palmerston North. So the front 4 stands, all done and dusted. Lincoln Eastwood and John O'Hicks having a bit of a ding-dong battle of their own down there on 5 and 6. Right out to the back leg for Jono. Lincoln making his way there. Quite a tricky wee spot this one, Kerry, just to transition from one hip to the other. They've got to keep them under control.
Yeah, it's great to see these young competitors just popping their head forward on that last side. And it's a little trick that they learn at shearing school, isn't it? Just pop that head forward and keeps that sheep has absolutely nowhere to go. As they come down the last side, both of these shearers are right there with each other. And who's it going to be? It might be Lincoln Eastwood, I'd say. Or John O'Hicks. Here we go. Well done, Lincoln. Remember time clocks, boys. And well done, John O'Hicks, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, that's the way, folks. Give them a hand. Heat number 4 heading off the stage. And let's welcome Heat 5 onto the stage as they leave. Stand number 6 will be Manu Didsbury. Stand 5, Chief Whakaoi. Hana Osawara on stand number 4. Masa Osawara on stand 3. Edawete King on stand number 2. And Haiora King on stand number 1. That's our lineup for heat number 5. Working our way slowly through the dozen or so heats we will have in this novice. And heat number 6 can make their way to the front of the stage, please. Xanthia Nichols, Laura Pride, Jurgen Schwanecki, Luke Jameson, Hamaweda Henderson, and Troy McIver. You competitors, please just wander up to the front of the stage, ready for the next heat. Heat 5 it is on the board. This is the Side-Decton Novice Shearing Heats. Looking for the top. 3 heats of shearers. The top 18 competitors will compete in the semi-final tonight. So really 70 odd shearers down to 18. They have to put their best foot forward. We have the thumbs up from Mark, just waiting for the sheep to be judged out the back. And we'll be underway with heat number 5. And we have the green light. Let's get ready to rock and roll. Heat number 5 it is. Timekeepers ready. Competitors set, go. Away we go. Oh, these young King boys on the front 2 stands, High Order and Eroeti. The young Gisborne shearers come from a very well-known family of shearers and farmers up there. And of course, their dad or their uncle down here as well, Ronnie King, and he is running the judging side of things for us here at the Golden Shears this year. Does a great job. And a couple of international shearers in the middle 2 stands, Masa and Hana Osawara from Japan. Great to see them up here competing. And down the back stands, Chief Whakaoi from Tikakino and Manu Didsbury from Martinborough.
Heat number 5, ladies and gentlemen, the Side-Decton Novice Shearing 2020 Golden Shears. We are looking for the top 18. We have 70 competitors. It is going to be a brutal cut. We are looking for the top 18 to go through to our semi-final later on in the evening tonight. The 2 King boys on 1 and 2. Up the neck they go. The boys from Gisborne. Up the neck they go. Up and around the shoulders goes Masa Osawara and Hana Osawara. Great to see these 2 Japanese competitors coming out to New Zealand this year. And once again, it is a very international flavour that we will see through the grades. And once again, it's great to see these competitors travelling around the world doing the sport that they all love. Down and into the long blow, pretty much all 6 stands go. Hana Osawara having a bit of a trouble down there on stand number 4, the young lady. But under control again. Yeah. Down and into the long blow she goes. Masa Osawara right there as well. Young Chief down there on stand number 5. Finishes, or not quite, finishes the long blow. The 2 King boys shearing right there with each other on stands 1 and 2. Down and into the long blow they go. Finishes the long blow and down and over the brisket he goes. Young Chief down there on 5. He's having a bit of trouble with that one as well. But I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, he's done a very, very good job so far. And then down on stand 5, young Manu Dibsey. Finishes a long blow, down and over the brisket he goes. Takes the trimming on the top side of the leg, under the final shoulder and down and out the flank he will go. Musser on stand 3. Finishes the long blow over that final shoulder. Under the final flank, down and out the flank. All 6 stands right there with each other. Down and out the flank they go. Right out to the tips of the toes. Heat number 5, Norm, shearing along well, aren't they?
Shearing nicely, right down the length of the board. High order on stand number 1, right out to the toe. Masa Osawada on stand number 3, right out to the toe as well. Chief down there on stand number 5, not far away. High order King about to reach for the time button. And there he is, well done. High order, oh, Chief right there with him. Chief Whakaoi down there from Tikakino. Out it goes, and Masa Osawada and Hana right there as well. So the 2 Japanese competitors side by side, and well done. Gives us a wave. Happy to be here, and great to have them here as well at the Golden Shears, especially this year, 60th anniversary celebrations. Great to have international shearers here. Edawiti just gets that one back over into position, and he'll carry on just the last leg for Edawiti to come off, and he'll be right. Made a beautiful job with that sheep. Ooh. Even a blind man could judge that sheep, which should suit some of our old judges out the back. And well done, Manu down there on stand number 6. Edawiti, finishing touches for him. Just lost a couple of seconds on time with that difficult sheep, and still not finished with him yet. But he won't be too worried about looking at the quality of the finish there, Edawiti. I wouldn't be too worried about the time. Beautiful job. Right out to the toe. Ooh. No, and it's still having a crack at him. Not much he can do with it. He's just got to get it back into position and carry on. That's the way, Edawiti. You're right, mate. Just keep that job right. And away he goes again. Just a couple of blows. Ooh, you wee honey. Start the barbecue, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, mint and garlic. That's the one. He's starting to puff and blow a bit. I'm not sure who's going to win this, the sheep or Edawiti, but I'm pretty sure Edawiti is going to come out on top eventually. Perseverance, that's what the name of this game is. These guys got to deal with a sheep like that, and then they've got another one in the pen, usually at work. Well done, give them a hand. Well done, Edawiti. Beautifully shorn sheep, out it goes. Never let the quality go just because you've got a difficult sheep. Nuki.
Okay, heat number 6. Xanthia Nichols, Laura Pride, Jugan Swanee, Luke Jamieson, Hamuera Henderson, and Troy MacGyver. You guys like to head up, please. And heat 7, if they could please be ready. Summer Pritchard, Will Billing, Robert Cross, Frederick Redshaw, Jacob Taylor, and Cole Clover.
So just ahead of we can see up there, ladies and gentlemen, it's not the final points for Edawiti King. He got kicked all over the place, that last sheep, but just have a close look at the board points up there, folks. You got a 1 on the board. That's pretty Outstanding for a young shearer. Hasn't been judged yet, so the pen points won't be up there, but
Just the heads up, Pauline Smith. Pauline Smith, please come over to the office here, please.
So just waiting for that last shoot to be judged, and the guys and girls up there in our points team will get that sorted. So total points of 27.472 for Eroeti. Not the top qualifier in that heat, but pretty good for a sheep like that. Have the thumbs up from the referee, just waiting for things to get sorted up the back, and we'll move into this heat number 6. Now, once again, a big thanks to Sidecton, the sponsor of this one. We have the green light, folks. Shearers at the door, please. Heat 6. Timekeepers ready. Competitors, set, go. And away we go. Another good lineup of top young shearers. Xanthia Nichols on stand number 1. Laura Pride on 2 from Turumea. Jurgen Schwanecki from Gisborne. Stand 3, Luke Jameson on 4. Hamaweda Henderson on stand number 5, and Troy McIver from Tikakino down there on stand number 6. And into the first hind leg they drop. Just carefully wiping the wool off. Shearing's all about repetition. The more sheep the shear, the better they'll get. Of course, you've got to go to the shearing schools, get the proper training, learn the proper technique. Where to put your feet is really important nowadays. How you're standing and holding the sheep. Always stand facing the part of the sheep you're shearing so that your back's nice and straight. It's all about reducing injuries in the workplace, and of course that's what our sponsors Tahi Ngātahi are all about as well. So a big thanks to Tahi Ngātahi for their support here at the Golden Shears for this year as well. We want our good young shearers to be able to shear as long as they can without being injured, Kerry, and just go home at night and refresh for the next day rather than go home and have to deal with injuries. It will happen, of course, but the least it happens, the better. Proper technique, good fitness, good health, all helps.
Yeah, that's right, Norman. It's all about prevention for sure. Troy McIver down there on stand number 6, leading the way in this side-acting novice shearing heat number 6, ladies and gentlemen. We are looking for that top 18. We are looking for the top 18. We have 70 competitors in this novice shearing, and it really is a credit to these novice shearers up here having a go. And it's great to see down and out the flank, Troy McIver down and out the flank he goes. Leading the way in this heat number 6. Down and out the flank he goes. The rest of the field, down and into the long blade they go. The two young girls on stands 1 and 2. Up and round the shoulders they go. But it's going to be, I was going to say Troy McIver, but that sheep still wants a little bit more taken off that one, Troy. And finishes some touches for him. And well done, ladies and gentlemen, Troy McIver in this qualifying heat. Down and into the long blow. Hamuera Henderson finishes the long blow. Down and over the brisket he goes. Luke Jameson right there with him as well. Down and over, ooh, bit of a niggle. Down and over the last side they go. Jurgen right there as well. Stand number 3 he is. Down and over the brisket. Under that final shoulder, down and out the flank. Down and out the flank goes Hamuel out. Finishing touches for him. Luke Jameson down and out the flank he goes. Finishing touches for these guys. And 2 girls on 1 and 2. Shearing along right there with each other. And the next one off. Well done, Hamuel Henderson. One on, my man. Down and out the flank they go. And there we go. Well done, Luke. Good job for you, my man. Down and out the flank they go. And finishing touches. Banana Xanthia. And finishing touches there for Laura. Down and out the flank she goes. And once again, a very, very well shorn sheep for her too. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely beautiful. Give her a big hand. Oh. Bit of a flag on that one.
Oh, well, she'll know whose it is out in the paddock. Who we got coming up, Nuki? We're on to heat number 7 next. What do we got here?
Rightio, thanks very much. Summer Pritchard, Will Billing, Robin Krause, Finn Renshaw, Jacob Taylor and Cole Claydon, please. If they'd like to hop up on the stage. Heat 8, Max Kyle, Sam Matheson, Geordie Taylor, Tessa Berger, Jed Golan and Michael Hewitt, if you'd like to assemble to the front of the stage for the Heat 8. We have 12 heats to get through, so if the name hasn't been called out, we still have a number of heats. Thanks very much.
So Cole, here he comes. Big Cole. Sprints up onto the board like the legend he is. This is heat number 7 on the board. Summer Pritchard from Pornalore. Will Billing, local man from Masterton. Robin Krause from Germany. She's got a couple of girlfriends down in the crowd there that'll probably be squealing for her. Finn Redshaw from Uranui, Jacob Taylor from Tikakino, and Cole Claydon from Gisborne. That's the lineup here in heat number 7. Just waiting for the points to come through from the back and we'll be underway. Just waiting for the judges out the back by the look of it. Might have to shoot out there and just make sure they're awake. And a big thanks, ladies and gentlemen, to our shearing and wool handling judges here this year. The lovely ladies and gentlemen up there on the stage in the grey shirts, and of course another team of them out the back, our shearing judges from all over the country. They've been around a long time, some of these shearers, just looking at them, some of these shearing judges.
Well, we've got a break. Could we have all the junior shearing competitors come and report in, please, just down by the announcers table and receive your singlets. Junior shearing. Okay, over to you.
Thanks, Nuki. We do have a green light, so let's get into gear. Thumbs up from the referee. Timekeepers ready. Competitors set, go. Away we go. Another 6 shearers very, very keen to make it through into the next round. The top 18, Kerry, will compete tonight in the 3-heat semi-final. So our junior shearers are all coming up as we work our way through the novice heats, looking for those top 18, of course. And like we said earlier, Kerry, 70 shearers down to 18, so you're going to have to be right on top of your game.
Oh, that's right, Norman. We've seen some very, very good young shearers so far, and without a doubt there will be some very, very good shearers to come. Just looking at the board points, ladies and gentlemen, there has been some incredible points coming through these shearers so far, and it's great to see, and it's a really, I guess it's a real tribute to the shearing instructors from around the country. Just the schooling that's gone into some of these young shearers is really starting to pay off, isn't it, Norman? It comes down to style and technique, really, I guess, and a little bit of natural talent as well, I guess, to be fair. But heat number 7 we've got on the board, and up and round the shoulders goes all 6 shearers here at the Golden Shears 2020 we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are looking for our top 18 and ultimately our Golden Shears Novice Shearing Champion. Down and into the long blow, we are working. Summer Pritchard, I would say, yes, she will be the first one down. Into the long blow she goes. Jacob Taylor down there on 5. Cole Clayton down there, he's the next one into the long blow as well. Working their way around that long blow they go. Nothing really separating this field. All 6 shearers pretty much shearing right there with each other. Summer Pritchard, she'll be the first one to finish the long blow. Down and over the brisket she goes. It's great to see the amount of female shearers that are coming through, not in just this novice grade, but the juniors and intermediates, and also into the seniors. Great to see these competitors coming through and just showing that it's not just a male-dominated sport. Down and into the long blow goes young Robin Kraus, young lady there from Germany, another international shearer in our field. And down and out the flank goes Summer Pritchard. Will Billing right there as well. Down and out the flank stands 2 and 3, going blow for blow. Down and out the flank they go. Heat number 7, ladies and gentlemen. Down and out the flank. And who will be the first one home in this heat? And there we go. The man on stand 2, Will Billing, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, a very, very well shorn sheep. And then the man down there on stand number 6, ladies and gentlemen, Cole Clayton. And finishing touches there, once again, a very, very well shorn sheep by the young ladies on stand 1, Summer Pritchard, very well was Sean. Jacob Taylor down in there on 5 will complete his sheep. Down and out the flank they go. Robin Kraus, young lady from Germany, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you what, have a look at that sheep. It is absolutely beautiful. Hardly a point left on that. Down and out the flank she goes. Finishing touches for her. Flynn Redshaw, down and out the flank he goes. Finishing touches for her. Down and out the flank. Absolutely doing a beautiful job. Hardly a whisker of wool left on that. And what wool has been left on, she's gone back and taken it off again. Ladies and gentlemen, Robin from Germany. Very, very well, Sean. And that leaves a young fellow on stand number 4. Down and out the flank he goes. Young Flynn. Finishing touches for him. Down and out the flank. Finishing touches. And there we go. That completes heat number 7, ladies and gentlemen. Flynn Redshaw.
Hi, welcome back. So we're into heat number 7 of the Novice Shearing. And by God, what do you reckon out there? Let me introduce you first. Sorry, Gerald Spain. He's one of the resident commentators down on the floor. There's a team of them and they're doing a great job just keeping everyone informed. I'm sure you'll recognise his mainland voice as soon as he says something. Hi, Gerald. Nice to have you here.
Hello, viewers. It's a pleasure to be here again. I travel up from the bottom of the South Island from Invercargill, and unfortunately I've been invited the last 6 years, so that's marvellous. And getting more and more comfortable. It's been a lot of years since I've personally been up here as a shearer, and now on the the commentating table. So it's brilliant, and we've got a great team of commentators all the way through, and literally the word team is the go. But anyway, it's not about us, it's about all these competitors.
Yeah.
Whether it be wool handlers to these shearers that are on now. Massive entries. The Golden Shears is always that that premier shearing event where as they say, or I say anyway, all roads lead to Rome, and all shearing shows lead to the Golden Shears.
Yeah.
But the 60th anniversary, Mavis, it's just stimulated some real fever. Like I arrived here before the start, half an hour before the start of it. There'd be 200-300 people in the stadium, and the buzz in the stadium before we started shearing a sheep, before anything was even clipped, was phenomenal. It was really amazing. Eh?
Yeah, she's pretty cool, all right. And so this is just going back to where we've what's on the board at the moment. We've got the novice shearers, so they're only shearing one sheep, but they're getting through them in pretty good time. And it's a bit of an all nations out there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Once upon a time, of course, it was New Zealanders, one-way traffic. New Zealanders going overseas to help get the sheep shorn in the UK and Norway and America and the likes.
Yeah.
And then over a period of time, become twofold. And we need those international visitors to get all these sheep shorn. There's still a lot of sheep in New Zealand to shear,
Yeah.
And they're a pleasure. They treated us really well when we were overseas, when I was a boy once and shearing sheep around the world. And I know they get treated really well over here, and they love coming to these big events. It's a pleasure to have them here, and they're skilled. And I know they've taken a lot of silverware home here over the last few years. These international shearers and wool handlers.
That's right. They've become a real part of the competitive scene, haven't they? There's no taking anything for granted anymore. Gerald, I'd noticed a lot of women coming through this grade.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of stimulation. There's been, a few programs on TV, of course, and you've been involved in one of them yourself, which has really stimulated that side of, women competing against men. No, whatever you want to call it, handicaps of any sort. It's just how it is. All the rules are exactly the same, and they are good. They are good shearers, great shearers. You know, we've just had a world record of 4 ladies
Yeah,
that did a 9-hour lamb record, and they short 2,066 lambs.
Yeah, they did.
Isn't that amazing? They averaged about 53 seconds to catch and shear a lamb for 9 hours. Now, that's tough.
It's
eh?
tough.
That's
You'd
tough.
You'd know better than anyone.
Well, no. Yeah, well, that's a yesteryear for me, but yeah, so it's you know, brilliant. And look, these young shearers here, the numbers in the novice wool handling, the junior wool handling, the novice shearers here have just been outstanding. And look, as any volunteer, and we're all volunteers here, and there's lots of us, there's 5 volunteers for every shearer wool handler to make this thing work. This is what we do it for. We do it for them. We do it. We come along for them to, you know, to have something they can quantify where we've been judged and what areas do I need to improve on, which improves the industry, so forth and so forth. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm very excited at the moment. I'm very passionate. It's only Thursday. Thursday.
No, you're right, because Golden Shears is a place where dreams come true, isn't it, Gerald?
It is. Yeah. Funny enough, it's these titles they don't get given away. You've got to earn these titles here at the Golden Shears.
Totally.
And funny enough, it doesn't matter how many years later, whether you won a novice at the Golden Shears or you won a junior, it gets brought up. And you're thinking, that's 30 years ago. I won a lot of other competitions, you know, around the world as well. But they remembered this one.
Yeah.
Oh, so-and-so won the junior at the Golden Shears. I had it happen not just long ago, to be honest with you. Thinking, wow, it shows you what association there is with, you know, this premier shearing, this world premier shearing event at the Golden Shears, basically.
We call it mana. It's the mana of the place. And so, look, I don't want to take away from what's happening in the stadium because I know there's family that are really interested in understanding or seeing their family members. And so why don't we take it back to the stage? Thank you, Gerald.
Thank you, Mavis. Thank you.
Boy from Martinborough. Up and around the shoulders he goes. Takes the trimming on the back side of the leg and down and into the long blow he will go. Max Kyle leading the field at the moment in this novice shearing qualifying heat. 70 competitors in the field today, ladies and gentlemen, and it is a credit to each and every one of these shearers that have got up on the board and had a go at the Golden Shears. It's a little disappointing, Norm, that we only get to take 18 through, but that's the problem when the field is just so big. There will be so many people miss out, and in all fairness, it's not really any fault of their own. But it's just the nature of our competition. Max Kyle, down and out the flank he goes. I'll tell you, have a look at that sheep, ladies and gentlemen. For a novice shearer, that is an absolutely beautiful sheep. Down and out the flank. Finishing touches for him, ladies. Yeah, that's what I get. I give him a bit of bad luck. I've been pumping his tyres, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Look for the cord, young Max. There we go. Hang your time clock. Well done, my man. Down and out the flank. Goes young Geordie. And he'll look for his time clock as well. Well done there, Geordie. Well shorn too, young fella. Young Michael Buick down there on stand 6. Down and out the flank he goes. Young Jed there as well. He's right there with the field. Down and out the flank. Tessa Berger. Down and out the flank she goes. Well done, Michael. Finishing touches for him. And that's pretty well shorn sheep too, according to your board points. Down and out the flank goes Tessa. And once again, time clock is pushed. And down the hole she goes. And there we go. Well done, Jed. I'll tell you what, have a look at that sheep, ladies and gentlemen. Man, I'll tell you what, Norma, that was, there's some very, very well shorn sheep in that heat.
Yeah, no doubt about it. A lot of the heats, a lot of the shearers are producing some real top quality results, which they know they have to carry it to get through into the top 18. That's what they've got to do. They've got to really come out of their shell, keep the bottom tooth on the skin, shear them nice and clean. And young Sam, another couple of blows. This young fella's going to be looking for the cord as well. Right over the tail, rolls around under the hamstring. And Sam Matthewson is going to bring heat number 8 to a close, folks. Well done, Sam. Give them a hand, folks. Heat number 8. These young shearers need a bit of support up there. And heat number 9. Toma, who we got there?
Stand number 6, Lucas Swan. Stand 5, Jaden Pedersen. Stand 4, Nate Jacker, Max Jacker. 3, George Jacker. 2, James Wilson. 1, Jockey Gunson. Heat number 10, if you guys can come down to the left of the stage. Stand 1, Thomas Hart. 2, Sam Webb. 3, Kate Boyden, Havelock North. Stand 4, Jerem Huddy. Stand 5, Matt O'Reilly.
So a big thanks to our competitors for being ready to go up on the stage when asked. Well done, guys and girls. It's really important in a big competition such as this to keep everything as close as we can to the time schedule. And we've got a couple of big fellas there, I tell you, up there in the middle of the board.
Okay, can you please have Joshua White, Gordon, Jackson Smith, Jack Ellingham, Jerome Packwood. We need your shearers to report in.
Cheers, Mark. A thumbs up from our referee, just waiting for the points to come through from the last heat. A couple of pretty keen, fit young fellas here in the middle of a field with 2 Australian competitors, George and Max Jacker. She's going to be a year or 2, I think, before these boys are allowed at the pub, but look at them. But they can get up there and shear some sheep. They can do that. And George on stand number 3, Max on 4. Good luck, boys. And no, false start. We have a green light. At the door, competitors, timekeepers ready. Competitors, set, go. Away we go. This is heat number 9. 12 heats in total for your novice shearing, so we've seen a lot of novice shearers come out and drag a sheep across the board, knock the fluff off it and head off the other end. Looking for the top 18. Lockie Gunson, is he going to be one of them? Young fella from Tukakino on stand number 1. James Waterson from Palmerston North. There on stand number 2. Turns and slides down in towards the backbone on the first hind leg. George Jacker on stand number 3. Max Jacker on 4. Both these guys from Australia. Stand number 5. Jaden Patterson from Tumaranui. And stand number 6, Riker Swan from Wairarapa. This is the lineup here in heat number 9. A lot of youth up here, probably not too much experience, but this is going to be a great experience for them to share here at the 60th anniversary of the Golden Shears this year in the novice. Kerry, there'll be Hawi hearts will be pumping up there. And just concentrating on keeping the bottom tooth down on the skin, which prevents second cuts. So if you're new to shearing sports, folks, so you're looking at the big screen above the shearers where the penalty points are situated. At time points, you see them clicking over it, 4.4, 4.5. Every 20 seconds is one whole point, folks. You move across to the board points. So them flash-looking judges up there in the grey shirts, they're just keeping an eye on them, and every time they make a second cut, they will click their counter. So the shearers, the second cut is when the comb comes off the skin a wee bit. They leave a bit of fluff behind. Every time they go back and cut that wee bit of fluff off, then they'll be penalised. So one sheep, every time a bit of fluff is cut off, it's 1 point. And moving across to the pen points, if they leave the bit of fluff on without cutting it off because they don't want to lose board points, well, then the judge will pick it up out the back. So if there's ridges and bits of fluff left on here and there, wee bit of wool under the legs or whatever, they'll get penalised out the back. Add the time, board, pen points together, that gives you your total. The lower the score, the better. So the 18 lower scores after everyone's done and dusted in the novice will be competing in the novice semi-final tonight. So looking forward to that one, Kerry.
Yeah, it's going to be a good event, ladies and gentlemen, and don't be scared of coming down and supporting these youngsters and the start of their shearing career, ladies and gentlemen. And we really do have a couple youngsters on the board in this heat, and it's great to see these young fellas getting up there. They would have been a little bit nervous before they get up there, but I'll tell you, they're doing themselves proud, these two boys. But it's going to be the young man on stand number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Down and out the flank he goes in this heat number 9 of the shearing qualifying heat for the novice. And there we go, Lockie Ginson. One up, my man. And once again, a very, very well shorn sheep too. Down and out the flank goes our young fella, Max Jackson. Jacker, sorry, not Jackson. Down and out the flank for him. Finishing touches, our young competitor from Australia. His younger brother there too. George right there with him. Finishing touches for him. Down and out the flank they go. Finishing touches. And who's going to be the next? Hold on to it, young George. Hold on to it, young fella. There we go. But on Max. Young George, he's having a bit of a tussle there, the young fella. Bit of a flag on that one, but don't worry about it. We'll get it next year. Down and out the flank.
Oh, he's getting it off. He wants it off. He knows it's got to come off, the young fella. It's just an awkward left-handed sheep. That's all the trouble is. Bloody New Zealand sheep, they're all back to front. Turning inside out. Over the tail he goes this time, young George. Well done, Georgie. Good on you, mate. And that brings it all to a close. Good finish down on the back two stands from Jaden and Riker. Well done, guys. And we'll get heat number 10 up on the stage. And we'll get on stand 5, we'll have Matt O'Reilly, Charam Hardy on stand 4, Kate Boyden on 3, Sam Leake on 2, Thomas Hart on stand number 1. So they're up on the stage. And the first of our woman and wool competitors up there. Well done to Kate Boyden on stand number 3. Of course, if you've been keeping an eye on the news and everything that's been going on in the last wee while, Kate's one of our professional women that learned how to shear over a period of time and did a lot of fundraising for Farm Strong by competing in that woman and wool event. And they're still at it, these girls, they're still going great guns, and great to see Kate up here. Kate's actually a dentist, I think, Kate is. Give us a smile, Kate. Yep, she's a dentist, that one. And she's up here competing in the Golden Shears. Great to see. They've just kept this thing going a wee bit longer than was originally planned. With the help of Colin Watson. Paul, of course, big support from him. Just waiting for the green light. We have the thumbs up from Mark, our board referee. And the points have just gone through from out the back. Just a couple of minutes and we'll be underway. Heat 10, 2 more heats left to go in this novice shearing heats. Proudly sponsored by Sydecton. Of course, Sydecton, manufacturer of animal health products. Big thanks for their support. And we have the green light, ladies and gentlemen. At your door, please, competitors. Timekeepers ready. Competitors set, go. Away we go. Out on the board with their one and only sheep this time. Nothing on the belly, so they can just turn and start into the first hind leg. A big thanks, of course, to the team of men and women that were out preparing all the sheep for this 60th anniversary celebration of the Golden Shears. Huge task that would have been, Kerry, and a lot of sheep being crutched up, all prepared up for these Golden Shears this year, and a big thanks to them for taking the extra time and effort to take their bellies off for our novice shearing competitors. Well done.
Yeah, for sure, Norm. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that don't get a mention, and we thank them very much. And it's not just the people that we see on the front of stand, but as Norm was just mentioning, there's a lot of people that do the sheep preparation, and there's would have been a lot of work going to running this show. I think last year there was mentioned of close to 200 volunteers, I think, helped run this show in one way, form or another. So it is a very big show. We'll probably get close, we'll share close to 3,000 to 4,000 sheep over the context of the coming days. So it's a lot of action ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen, and we are on to heat number 10 of this Sydecton Novice Shearing qualifying heat number 10. We are looking for our top 18 shearers to go through to our semi-final later on in the evening. And down and into the long blow goes stands number 4 and 5. Down and into the long blow they go. Down and into the long blows goes young Sam on 2. Thomas Hart, up and round the shoulders he goes. Kay Boyden, down and into the long blow she goes, almost leading the field at the moment. And she will turn for home. in 2 minutes 23. A pretty good time on this heat too. Down and over the brisket they go. Down and over the brisket. Young Jerem on stand number 4, down and over the brisket he goes. Matt right there as well. Down and out the flank they go on stands 4 and 5. Sam Leake, down and out the flank he goes. Looking for a place in that top 18. Down and out the flank he goes. He had pretty quick last side actually. Finishing touches there for the young man on 2. Young Kate with a bit of a niggler there. And finishing touches there. And look for the cord, Sam. There we go. Well done, my man. Once again, a very, very good Sean Sheep. And Matt O'Reilly down there in 5 snuck through. Well done, Matt. And who's the next one? Will be stand number 4, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, Jerem. And that leaves Kate. Well done, Kate. And that leaves our young competitor on stand number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Thomas Hart. A young fellow from Gisborne. Up and round the shoulders he goes. Under that final shoulder. Under the final shoulder he will go. Under the leg, down and out the flank. And once again, down and out the flank. Finishing touches for Thomas Hart. In this heat number 10, ladies and gentlemen. Just 2 more heats to go in this novice qualifying heat. And a couple more blows there for Thomas. And we will be almost completing heat number 10, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. And give him a big hand. And
Well done, Thomas. All done and dusted.
Well
Thomas
done,
Hart from Gisborne. Time taken. And out it goes for the judges out the back to have a wee look at. Awesome stuff. So off the far end of the stage, guys and girls. And we'll get heat number 11 up, Nuki.
Heat 11, Novice Shearing, Lockie Creeper, Maureen Chaffee, Zane Rogers, Rosie Bates, and Lisa Chadwick. If you guys would like to competitors hop up, please. And following that heat will be the last of our Novice Shearing heats. Ron Himara, Anna Rasmussen, Kendall Reedy, and Josh Devane, please. That's the last of our next heat. 12 heats of Novice Shearing. Straight following that, we'll go straight into the Junior Shearing.
That's number 3.
So Maureen up here on stand 2, Maureen. And who's on? So he must be. So 1, Lockie Crafer on 1, Maureen on 2, Zane Rogers on 3, Rosie Bates on 4, Lisa Chadwick on 5. There we go. But that's sort of another couple of our woman and wool competitors up there as well. Great to see them up there. Maureen on 2. Our wool buyer, and Lisa down there on stand number 5. Lisa is an accountant by trade. But hey, they can shear sheep, no problem at all. And the green light we have, folks, at the door, please. Timekeepers ready. Competitors set, go. And away we go. Lucky Crafer on 1 comes from Kim Bolton. Maureen Chafee from Hastings, our woman and wool buyer. Zane Rogers from Gisborne. Rosie Bates from Hastings. Lisa Chadwick from Havelock North, the accountant down there. Sliding into the first hind leg. Up the undermine, already for Maureen.
Lisa Chadwick, the first one to step up the neck. And this heat number 11, ladies and gentlemen, Side Dickman Novice Shearing Golden Shears 2020. She is all a go around here. We are almost getting through our heats. I think one more heat to go in this novice. And as I said, we are looking for our top 18. Lisa Chadwick down there on stand number 5. Up and round the shoulders she goes. Rosie Bates right there with her. Zane Rogers, he steps up the neck. Maureen up the neck and around the shoulders she goes. All 5 competitors pretty much right there with each other at the moment. Up and around the shoulders they work. Lockie Craper. Up the neck he goes. Takes the cheek wool. And he'll work his way around the shoulder. Lisa Chadwick. Down and into the long blow she goes. Rosie Bates right there as well. She said, not without me you don't, Lisa. I'm going to go right with you. If you're going to lead the way, I'm going to come with you. Down and into the long blow goes the 2 ladies down there on 4 and 5. Maureen down and into the long blow she goes. Up and around the shoulders go Lockie and Zane. Once again, these shearers doing a pretty good job, aren't they, ladies and gentlemen? Finish of the long blow. Rosie Bates, first one to finish. Down and over the last side they go. Lisa Chadwick right there as well. These 2 young ladies down there on 4 and 5 really having a bit of a go at each other. They said, I want to be the first one off in this qualifying heat. Under the final shoulder they go. Nothing separating these 2. Maureen Chafee. She's right into the mix there as well.
Yeah, so these are the girls. I'll be keeping a close eye on her. Kerry Maureen won the Woman and Wool event a few months ago and also won the Novice at Playa Tour. So she's on form as Maureen on stand number 2. Lisa down there on 5. Their accountant just brings the head through. And Rosie's been training with these girls a bit too, apparently, just lately. So she's going pretty good too. But that old sheep's not doing anything to help her. A bit ticklish down the side of the ribcage by the look of it. Doesn't want to sit there for her. But away she goes, or she'll try to, Rosie. Drops down into the flank. Once she gets down towards that flank, she'll be able to pull the head through if it sits there for her long enough. But Maureen, look at the finish on that sheep.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, well done, Maureen. And Lisa Chadwick, right there with her, the 2 professional girls that learned how to shear for the Woman and Wool Farm Strong fundraising event and decided, well, we're just going to keep on trucking. We want to share at the Golden Shears, and here they are, these girls. Well done. Rosie Bates from Hastings, out she goes as well. Awesome stuff, girls. Lockie Crofer from Kimbolton. Zane Rogers from Gisborne, down the last side for Zane, down into the flank. And he's just going to roll the handpiece round under his hand and out onto the back leg. Lockie Crofer just picks the skin up just above the flank there and just rolls it into his hand, and it brings the leg up and over towards him, and he can get the handpiece right over the tail. He's made a beautiful job too, Lockie Crofer. Holy moly, some fantastic quality jobs going out from these young shearers. And out it goes. Look at the finish on that sheep of Lockie's. Well done, Lockie. And Zane just out the back leg, another couple of shots, and he's going to be looking for his cord and his time clock button. We better work after time there, but he's got it off. He's happy enough to send it out to the judges. Give him a hand, folks. It is heat number 11. There's only the one heat left to go in the novice before we move into the junior. So, Nuki, who are they?
We have Ron Himara, Anna Rasmussen, Kendall Reedy, and Josh Devane, please. That's the last of our novice shearing. We move straight along after this into our junior shearing, once the pins are loaded. Heat one will be Sam Howell, Wiraman P. Whairami, Manahi Kamura, Eli Pakai, Blake Crooks, Chris Campbell. That's the first heat of our junior shearing. Heat 2, Joshua White, lead picker Ferris, Adam Gordon, Vinnie Butcher, Jake Hamilton, and Rupert Barton, please.
Come up one stand there, Josh. Josh, come up one stand, mate. Good on you. Thank you. So this is the 12th and final heat in the novice shearing, folks. Just waiting for the green light. And Kendall Reedy on stand number 3, another of our Woman and Wool competitors. Great to have Kendall here. She's a policewoman. And ladies and gentlemen, she is actually on the first day of her honeymoon. Well done, Kendall. Congratulations. And she'll be so rapt to be at a shearing competition on the first day of her honeymoon. I'm sure she'll show her husband her appreciation in the usual manner later on. But awesome to have you here. Ron Himara from Danny Vick on 1. Anna Rasmussen on 2. Kendall on 3. Josh Devane from Tai Happy on stand number 4. And we have the green light. Let's set these competitors alight. Heat number 12, the 12th and final heat in the novice shearing. Timekeepers ready. Competitors set, go. And away we go with the first and only sheep on the board for our last heat of competitors. Ron Himara, Anna Rasmussen, Kendall Reedy, Josh Devane round up the novice heat shearing event here at the Golden Shears this year.
Heat number 12, ladies and gentlemen, this Novice Shearing side acting sponsored, of course, ladies and gentlemen, and we have our four final competitors. This will complete the Novice Shearing. We have seen 70 Novice Shearers, which is a great turnout, to be fair, Norm, and it's a credit to every single one of these competitors that have got up here and had a go today. It's not easy. They're in front of a couple of hundred people, to be fair, up on the grandstand like they do, and we thank them very much for their efforts, and we wish them well in their shearing careers for those ones that will miss out on our top 18. And on stand number 2, young Anna, up the neck she goes. Young Kendall on her honeymoon. You couldn't really ask for a better wedding present than a trip to the Golden Shears, could you, Norm? Eh?
Yeah, debatable, but yeah, good on you. Well done.
I was trying to back a husband up here and say he's really hit the nail on the head, but I reckon it's not too bad. Up and around the shoulder she goes. Kendall says, yeah, no, it's not too bad. I'm going pretty well in this heat. Shearing along well she is. Up and around the shoulders. Young Anna there on 2. Rasmussen. Round in the shoulders, and she'll get ready to drop down into the long blow as well. Young Josh Devine there on 4. Around the shoulders he works. And down and into the long blow he goes. Anna right there as well. Up the net goes Ron on stand number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Up and round the shoulders he goes. Down and into the long blow goes Kendall. Down and into the long goes Josh. Around the long blow they work in this 12th and final heat of the Novice Shearing, ladies and gentlemen. We have seen 70 competitors, ladies and gentlemen. It is a fantastic turnout for the Novice at the Golden Shears 2020. Ultimately, we are looking for that top 6 to go through to the final, but we will take 18 through into the semi-final. The question is, ladies and gentlemen, who is it going to be? Under the final shoulder goes Josh Devine. Takes the trimming on the bottom side of the leg. Down and out the flank he goes. Just looking up on the board points there, ladies and gentlemen, young Josh is still on 1. Very, very well shorn. Down and out the flank he goes. Kendall ready. Over the final shoulder she goes. Down and out the flank goes Anna Rasmussen. Once again, Norma, very, very well shorn heat. A sheep, aren't they? All these competitors, it's just amazing the quality that some of these young shearers are coming through with, isn't it? It's really, it is a credit to them and the industry and the trainers going forward as well.
Oh, it certainly is, yeah. And a credit to themselves for getting up there, because not easy, let me tell you, folks, getting up in front of a big crowd, in front of the judges, in front of your peers, and battling it out with a tricky big crossbreed ewe. Anna Rasmussen, Josh Devine, finished, done and dusted. And Kendall, as she's always wanted to do on her honeymoon, is coming to a close, finishing a sheep at the Golden Shears. Another couple of blows and she'll be done and dusted. Rolls right out to the toe, does Kendall. She will be obviously not too worried about time. As a police officer, she'll be sticking to the speed limit. Over the tail she rolls, another couple of shots. Give her a hand, folks. Our woman and wool competitor, Kendall Reedy. And newly married. Well done, Kendall. Nicely shorn sheep. They've done extremely well. They've had a couple of real good trainers working with those girls over the last few months. They originally only wanted to shear to raise money for the Farm Strong charity, which is a great thing to do in itself, but they got the bug, Kerry. They carried on and stuck at it. They've still been doing their training and wanted to have a crack at the Golden Shears. Shearing itself, competition shearing and just sheared shearing, is an addictive thing to start. A lot of people get hooked on it. They travel the world. It's not just the cutting of the wool off the sheep. It's the camaraderie in the teams. It's the travel. It's the different places around the world you can go to and different people you meet. It makes it addictive, and it's a really hard game to get out of. Ron Hemmerer, ladies and gentlemen, right out onto the back leg. And it's great to have Ron here, folks. I'm sure he's up there. He's definitely not a shearer, this man, but he is shearing in tribute to his brother. And his brother, folks, is the late, great Koro Mullins. Just about stuffed that one up. Tom was still with us, thankfully. A wee bit on that other side there, Ron. That's the story. Alfred comes. Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Ron Hemmerer, tribute shear for his brother. Well done, Ron. Out it goes. That's the story. Hit the button. Awesome stuff. Give them all a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. All our novice grade shearers here today. Around 70 odd competitors. Absolutely fantastic numbers. And good luck to you all. We'll let you know very soon, once the points have been collated, who the top 18 are that will compete in that 3-heat semi-final in tonight's shearing session. Well done to you all. Moving on to the next event. And the next event, folks, is the Farmers Weekly Junior Shearing is the next grade, the next event. So, we got almost 50 odd shearers in the next event as well. So it's going to be a huge event, proudly sponsored by the Farmers Weekly, and a huge thanks to Cy Dicton, the sponsors of the last grade, our novice shearing. Thank you guys very, very much, and big thanks to your company for your input this year and your support of the novice shearing. Well done. And we're going to bring in John McBride, ladies and gentlemen, on the microphone. Of course, John needs no introduction to shearing sports fans around New Zealand and the world. The big fella himself from the Taranaki, here to help us once again at the Golden Shears. You've been here since its inception, John, back in the early days. 60 years ago you were commentating then, weren't you?
I don't know about that. I'd be doing half of it anyway. I first came back down here in about 1974, not to work, but to play.
Yeah, right, 1974. Well, I was about two and a half maybe.
I won't hold that against you. You can work like heck. The green light's on. Have we got our competitors, our judges need to change hands. You notice the judges have been revolving around the board all day. Now they've got to revolve from back to front.
Could we have the judges on the board, please? We're just going to keep rolling this along. Judges up on the board, please. Thanks, guys. Then we can get our competitors up. Judges on the board, all the judges, please. We just need to keep this rolling. Thank you. Competitors, could we have Sam Hull, Whitterman, Whairangi, Manahi Kamura, Eli Parkai, Blake Crooks and Chris Campbell, if you'd like to head up on the stage, please.
Just make sure the competitors for Heat 2 are at the bottom of the stairs. We need to keep ticking this one along. Time now is 5 to 5 almost.
All right. 2 seconds. We'll get these guys a light. We have the green light. We'll get the thumbs up from the board referee very shortly.
Heat 2 ready. Joshua White, Rebecca Ferris, Adam Gordon, Vinnie Goodyear, Jake Hamilton and Rupert Barton. Heat 3, Jack Duffy, Jack Ellison, Nathan B, Pete Fitzherbert, Kurt Kalatiana and Destiny Pikewell. That's the first 3 heats, thanks.
So those competitors need to be ready to rock and roll. We have the thumbs up. Let's set these competitors alight. Heat number 1, ladies and gentlemen, of the junior. We're going up a grade. We'll give them another sheep. 2 competition sheep for our junior shearers to shear. Timekeepers ready. Competitors set, go. And away we go with the keen, all right. Sam Hull from all the way from Masterton on stand number 1. Whitterman Piwharangi from Matoda in the deep south on 2. Manahi Kamura from Martin on 3. Eli Parkai, another Masterton shearer, there on stand number 4. From Wellington we have Blake Crooks on 5. And all the way from Scotland is Chris Campbell down there on stand number 6. 2 sheep this time. John McBride working into the first hind leg on sheep number 1. Of course, they're taking the bellies off as well. And we've got about 50 odd shearers to work our way through. So huge thanks to the competitors for being ready to go on time and waiting at the foot of the stairs prior to their heat.
Certainly great to see a good number of shearers here for the 60th occasion. Farmers Weekly sponsored the junior shearing for 2020. By golly, if you thought away back in the early days, 60 years ago, would have they been having this many shearers with the state of the industry at the moment? The shearers are still keen. The wool price is not much. But the competition side of it is quite strong, as you can see by the number of people that have fronted forward here at the Masterton for 2020. 2 sheep to shear, as Norm says. Just keep an eye on those boards, the big Farmers Weekly Junior Shearing Heat 1 board. The time up there by those shearers is calculated at 3 points per minute. The board points are the number of demerit points on the board, the size of a credit card. And out the back, the final judging, anything left on the size of a credit card will be added up. And the person with the lowest score at the end of the elimination round will be the top of the heap to go through to the later rounds, semi-finals. Here we go. Down and under the shoulder they come here on stand number 1, Sam Hull, the local lad. Oh, but he's not on with a pace, Wirramood. Down the hole he goes when he gets that one out in just a shade over 2 minutes. That's about half the time that it took those novice shearers to get through their 1 sheet. So they're right on target. The same amount of time is going to elapse between each heat, but we're just shearing more sheep. Out comes stand number 4, Eli Parkai. Sheep sort of got stuck in the doorway for him then. But he's very right over top of his sheep now, and they go down the belly. Got to take that brisket wool off first, slide it down, three and a half good blows down the belly, and they should be able to pop that out the back for the wool handler. Got to throw that belly wool clear, otherwise the judge penalise you for making the wool handler reach around into a dangerous situation. It's all about OSH these days, so let's work together in the shearing industry. You see our lovely ladies up there in our maroon shirts have been doing a fine job for 60 years, and there's no reason why 2020 they won't have a good time here as well. We're all here to have a good time as we get down to find the winners in the 60th competition, and good luck to all the competitors. We drop into the offside now. That is the most difficult part of the sheep now for Eli Parkey. Into the off shoulder. There's not enough fingers on the hand or elbows or wrists to control the head of the sheep and shear that offside front leg, and he turns away from the crowd. Into the long blow he goes now, making it look nice and easy. A little bit of a trot on there from Manahi Kabura. He's right in there, he's keen to get into the pen and draw out sheep number 2, Norm.
Yeah, sheep 2 it is. Like you said, John, they're whipping through them a lot quicker than the novice shearers. Of course, they've done a bit more shearing. It sort of works on tallies, and competition wins. When you've won so many competitions, you have to move up a grade. The tally for these guys, the junior, is 205 of these adult crossbreed ewes in 8 hours. So once they've reached that 205 tally, the next competition season, they need to be moving up a grade. So these guys are a bit more experienced, obviously, than the novice shearers. Woodham Puwharangi, right out to the toe on sheep number 1. Another couple of shots, and he'll be looking for his second sheep. Manahi Kamura already been there and done that. Ooh, Eli having a bit of a ding-dong with that one down there, and he just slides it nicely back into position, and away he goes again.
Of course, these competitors are their own timekeepers, so they've got to hit the red button to stop the clock. When you see that blue light flashing on that black box on the side of the porthole, that's when the time's been taken. So the shearer is responsible for taking his own time. And at 20 seconds per point, you need to get that red button pushed smartly. Hit the button, that's the story. Hit the button before you turn your handpiece off if you're quick enough. So we've got 4 shearers completed the task now. Just got on stand number 3, Manahi Kamura, into the long blow, he swings. Chris Campbell's done the job down the far end. Blake Crow just popped that out. Blake Crook, just popped it out on stand number 5. Look along the board. How have I done? Look at my board points. You'll get a chance to see that as we scroll through, as we go down these 50-odd shearers. Rocking around the last side now comes the man from Martin. Manahi Kamura turning on concentration, pulling that head hard in against his left leg. They're big, strong ewes. They've been training. Murray Tomlin, I've been talking to him, he says he's been chasing them around to get him fit. He's actually worn his socks out. But they're big, strong ewes, and we thank them for his participation here at the 60th Golden Shears. They've made the novice work, they're making the juniors work to control them. 65, 70 kg sheep, and they're going to hurt if you let them go. They're going to run down the main street. Here we come, under the shoulder now, making it look easy, but he's full of concentration. There'll be beads of sweat on his brow, just a little bit more tension. He says, I'm not quite getting the cut. Over the shoulder for Manahi Kamura. Time's slipping away, but he's not too worried about that. These are wild animals, not sedated in any way, and he wants to make the most of it as he comes out the last leg with about 3 shots to go. Had to pop the head through in that last moment or two. There he goes, finishing touches, heat 1 done. Where's heat 2, Norm?
Right, and we have heat 2, Joshua White, Ray Picker Ferris, Adam Gordon, Vinnie Kutcher, Jake Hamilton and Rupert Barton. If you'd like to head up to the stage, please. Heat 3, if they could please be ready. And assemble down to the left of the announcer's desk. Jack Duffy, Jake Ellison, Nathan B, Pete Fitzherbert, Kirk Raitiana and Destiny Paikia.
But it's not Thursday. I think one of them I wrote.
So another good lineup. Shears have got a few seconds before we get them into gear. Heat number 2 it is, and the Farmers Weekly sponsored junior shearing. We've got 10 or so heats in total of junior grade shearers, so once again, top entries. Great to see so many good young shearers competing. The industry is in good hands by the look of it. Well done. Time to go. Timekeepers ready. Competitors set. Go. Away we go. Stand number 1, Joshua White from Auckland. Drags his first sheep on the board. Rebecca Ferris from Porangaho. On stand number 2, young Adam Gordon from Masterton, local young fella, been going all right too round the circuit on his 3rd stand. And Vinny Goodger, we'll see him feature later on in the wool pressing as well. Legendary wool pressers, the Goodger boys. And Jake Hamilton from Hastings on stand 5. Rupert Barton rounds up the field down there on stand number 6, also a Masterton man. Good to see the locals backing the local show. So into the top of the head from young Adam Gordon, leading the field as he slides up under the chin and into the face. The rest of the field just heading towards the top of the head now. John is Vinny Goodger, that big tall figure there on stand number 4. He's up under the chin as well and into the base of the ear. The rest of the field heading for the top of the head now.
Yeah, certainly Vinny's showing his talents. Of course, he's in that triathlon, which is the 3 disciplines, the wool handling, the shearing and the pressing. That is a hell of an effort. And they do it with such finesse. Adam Gordon was in the wool handling a little bit before too, so he was doing pretty well, what I could see. They're all enjoying these sheep from Te Mātai. And they've done a particularly good job in a dry summer, keeping these sheep in good shearing condition. A little bit tetchy over the last few final hours. There's a bit of moisture coming overnight. You'd have been pretty concerned if you're up on top of the Ashurst Hill there this morning, because the fog had come in. You couldn't see sheep to muster as I came down early. A little bit of moisture goes a long way, of course, keeps the grass growing, keeps the sheep healthy, and that's our aim, is to keep these sheep healthy by shearing them well and sending them back to Te Mātai in tip-top order. Over the shoulder now comes White up here in the front stand. Ferris, a wee bit of an adjustment there on the stand number 2. Very strong, these sheep, I say. Adam Gordon first to get sheep number 2. Good years right behind him. He make a top shear. Look at that long back he's got, the long extremities as he reaches out to the final shots out under the hock. Down there on stand number 5, Jake Hamilton. A few blows back as he comes under the shoulder. 3 or 4 blows in front of him is Rupert Barton. Out the last leg he goes now. Making it look easy. Look pretty smart up there in their orange shirts. By golly, working away. Is Ferris from Porangaho. Out the last legs. Beautifully shorn sheep. Just keep an eye on those board points up there. That's how, shows you how well the shearer's competing on the board. And some of them have been amazing, right through the novice class as well. Out the last, down the belly there on the far end. Barton, blow for blow with Hamilton. Fresh sheep out for Josh White. Ferris has got another one on the board. Gordon, he's got away from him a little bit this time round in the Farmers Weekly sponsored event. Up the long blow he comes. Vinny Goodyear up over the top. Rebecca Ferris from Prong here. Flicks the belly out the back for the Woolhandlers. Stands 5 and 6 are in the first off leg now. The undermine. Got to get that undermine nice and deep. Go to the floor. Swing it up along the backbone. Because if you do not do that on the last side, you're going to be in trouble on that last leg. You cannot reach out far enough. Do the groundwork. Full the comb up. They're nice and round, these sheep. The quality, as you can see by the jobs that have been done, the sheep are right there to be shorn. You've just got to do the business. It is no good being second guessing. You've got to do the business today. Tomorrow's no good because you'll missed out on the semi-final. Here comes Adam Gordon, doing pretty well. Down and out to the last leg he goes. Goodyear says, I'm hanging in there, mate. Only 4 minutes and 25 seconds are gone so far. And that looks like a jolly good shear from young Adam Gordon there on stand number 3, Norm.
Well done, Adam. He certainly does, Johnny. He very, very good up-and-coming young shearer, this guy. Of course, it runs in the family. Done it, Nuki. Runs in the family. So turning for home, Rebecca Ferris, but Vinny Goodyear already been there and done that. He slides out onto the back leg. Another couple of shots for the big fella. And he'll be looking for the cord. Right out to the toe. Rolls around underneath the hamstring, over the tail. And he'll be looking for the cord very shortly. And of course the stop button. Here he is, Vinny Goodyear. Well done, Vinny. The legendary wool presser. And down the last side on the back stand for Rupert Barton. Jake Hamilton not far away. Joshua White on stand number 1. Turns and down over the last front shoulder for Joshua. Rebecca Ferris just finishing touches for her on stand number 2. Rupert Barton, Rebecca Ferris, blow for blow out. The holder goes at the same time. Jake Hamilton brings his attempt to a close at getting into the next round. How has he done? Look at the board points and keep an eye on them. Adam Gordon, 16.458. Hold the phone.
Certainly doing a good job as Joshua White, the young man from Auckland, comes out the last leg. You can hardly call him a Jaffa when he's swinging a bog iron like that. He's doing all right. One out over the tail, and he's going to let that one down for the outside judges. Yeah, there we go. He's got to hit the button, mate. Turn your clock off. Okay, move off, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Move on.
Rightio, heat 3 of the junior shearing. Jack Duffy, Jake Ellison, Nathan B, Pete Fitzherbert, Kirk Kalatiana, Destiny Pintia. And heat 4, could they please be ready? Jack Ellington, Bradley Newell, Simon Green, Sam Jones, Kingston Kuru, and Darren Bryant. We have an announcement from the committee. If you make the semi-finals, you have to bring your singlet that you wore this morning. So to all competitors, if you made the semi-finals, you have to wear the singlet or t-shirt that you wore this morning. We do not have semi-finalists singlets or t-shirts. Thanks.
You can't have multiple competitors and keep just making cotton, can you? When you fill the heats up like you have done, it's gobble up all the shirts.
Okay, so heat 3 it is up on the board. And we have them ready. Just wait for the red light, so. Just looking down the board, Adam Gordon. Holy moly, some awesome scores there for young Adam. Thumbs up from our referee, thanks. Wait for the red light, and we'll be into it. Oh yeah, okay, we've got a bit of a change over there on stands 4 and 5. Well done, guys. Good to see someone's onto it. And The Farmers Weekly Junior Shearing Heat number 3 about to start, and we can kick them off, folks. Timekeepers ready. Competitors set, go. Away we go. Jack Duffy this time on stand number 1 from Mikitahuna. Jake Ellison from Masterton on 2. Nathan B from the Deep South and Gore there on stand number 3. Pete Fitzherbert from Hunterville. Kirk Karadiana on 5. From Takapau on stand number 5. Destiny Pike here on 6. She's also a South Island girl, Destiny, down there in Harriet. Good luck to the competitors in heat number 3. Couple of sheep ahead of them. But they keep a close eye on those points earlier. And have the results from the novice shearing. The top 18 in qualifying order that will share in the novice semi-final tonight. In qualifying order are Josh Devane, Lockie Crafer, Riker Swan, Tyrone Oliver, Connor McIntyre, Jasmine Cook, Anna Rasmussen, Chief Whakaoi, Cole Claydon, Matt O'Reilly, Sam Leake, Max Cole, Michael Buick, Rosie Bates, Iroweti King, Hiora King, Jerem Hardy, and Alex Kirkpatrick. That's the top 18 through into that big semi-final tonight, John. Congratulations to those competitors. Really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, we do have the heat draw for that too, just here. We have, but we can't take it away from these guys there. Time on the sun up there now. Jack Duffy here on the front stand. Just up the road in Ekatahuna. Woohoo, Jake Ellison, Masterton. Starting to work away now on the offside front leg as he comes up the neck and moves his sheep. Try to shift that sheep with every blow you put in, just a millimetres of your foot, so the sheep doesn't actually feel it's been shunted around the board. But the paste down the far end. The South Island lady that filled up the plane for Norm. As she comes down the last side is Destiny Bike here. That is a beautiful style and it's looking pretty sharp. Over the last side now comes Nathan B on stand at number 3. Last side half done almost now for Peter Fitzherbert. Over the shoulder he comes, working away, using that left hand to roll the skin up out of the way of those 13 teeth on the comb. Down and out to the flank. Oh, he's going around it, but needs to go straight down. Out the last leg comes the Destiny Pike here though, doing pretty well, close on the heels of Jack Duffy here on the front. No pressure, but they're going well, these junior shearers in this Farmers Weekly. Sponsored event. Kirk Cariatana there, down on stand number 5. Oh, he got a bit of a wriggle and roll as he comes over the last leg. Down and out he goes, he says, let me at it. I'm going in for number 2. Nathan B is going to be seeking and not too many blows behind him. Jack Ellison from Marston. Out the last leg he comes. They're working away. They know the time's been taken against them. They've watched the previous heats go. This is heat number 3. A little bit of an advantage. They know how fast they got to go to keep their time points to a minimum, but they're also the quality required. Very important in over a small number of sheep to have the right quality. So here we go. Into we go. This chance to make the 60th year final. Down the belly comes Nathan B. Oh, one of those deep south lads from Gore. I'm wondering I can actually get a word in edgeways because Norm's got a couple of South Islanders in here.
Go the south. Go the south, John. How we go down the far stand, I'll tell you what, you keep an eye on her. She has got a ton of talent. Destiny Pike here, round into the first front shoulder, leading the field. And swings around and lays it into the long blow. Kirk Karaitiana there as well. Swings around, drops into the long blow himself on stand number 5. Pete Fitzherbert up into the base here and around the back of the head he rolls. Right there with Nathan B. Stands 4 and 3. Blow for blow as they work their way around the back of the head and into the front shoulder. Jack Duffy, front shoulder time for him as well on 1. But turning for home is Destiny down there on 6. Down over the front shoulder, Kirk chasing hard, maybe half a shot behind. Last front shoulder for both these shearers. Who's going to drop first? One eye on the clock at all times, these competition shearers. Like we already said, every 20 seconds is 1 point, but Destiny Sheep does not want to play the game. Ooh, you wee honey, she's saying, as she slides down the back of the rib cage and right out to the toe. So Kirk Karaitiana just able to get a couple of shots out in front with Destiny's Kiki Sheep. Or maybe not. Destiny Pikey, good strong finish over that back leg. Out it goes. Well done, Destiny. She's only a wee girl, but she's got a big motor. There's no doubt about that.
You see the way that she just adjusted when that sheep actually settled, and she just whacked those last 3 or 4 blows and whoop, whoop, whoop. There goes Nathan B. He's finishing touches. Likewise is Fitzherbert. Just the front 2 to go. Jake Allison, the local lad from Masterton, comes across that front shoulder, trying to keep the head as high in his knees in the front stand as Jack Duffy. If you can hold these old girls' big nose up in the air for as long as you can, you have a much better chance of hanging on to them on that last side. If the head gets down towards the calves of your legs, you're in big trouble. Here they come out the last leg. Masterton's Allison. He'll be trying to master those last few blows as he puts the shots in, trying to fill the comb up but not overfill it so he doesn't leave a ridge on across the side of the sheep. Finishing touches, hits the button. Farmers Weekly number 3, done and dusted. Off you go, gentlemen, off to the right, and ladies.
Okay, so we have the next thing up. 4, Jack Ellington, Bradley Hill, Simon Green, Sam Jones, Kingston Guru, and Darren Bryant. If those competitors would like to head up. P5, please, Ready, Ray Harris, Jeremy Goodyer, Giardi Manson, Richard Lancaster, Sandra Newlands, and Caleb Nelson. I also have an announcement from the committee. We have 10 heats of junior shearing. We're going to have a short break of 15 to 20 minutes, and we will be straight back into the evening program. For the people who are the teams for the student challenge, come and see us at the desk, and we'll put you on to Ronnie to make sure all those entries are in. So remember, we have 10 heats of junior. We're going to have a short break of 20 minutes, and then we will be moving straight on into this evening's session. But the competitors who have a student challenge, could you please come and see us and Ronnie and put your teams in. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Russell. So, Jack Ellington, please. Up he goes. There he is. So just waiting for the green light and we'll be underway with heat number 4 of the junior. So you've all heard the program moving forward. Short break at the end of the junior heats and we'll be into the evening program. Looking forward to some more exciting events and of course a couple of semi-finals involved in the evening program. So our top groups of competitors in a couple of events ready to line up and battle it out this evening.
18 shearers go through from this Farmers Weekly Junior elimination round.
That's right, the top 18. Let's set these guys alight and see if they're going to be in that top 18. Heat number 4 it is. Timekeepers ready. Competitors set, go. And off they go, in and out with sheep number 1, Jack Ellingham from Riversdale in the deep south. Bradley Newell from Masterton on 2. On 3 we have Simon Green from Tikakino. Sam Jones from Wales on stand number 4. Kingston Kudu from Porongaho on stand 5, and Darren Bryant down there on stand number 6 from Levin. And way down the belly they dive, flick it out behind them and into the first hind leg. Who's going to be the first into the top of the head? Looks like Sam Jones, the Welshman, on stand number 4. Up comes Darren Bryant as well from Levin on stand number 6. Up is the man on stand number 3, Simon Green, as well. Into the base here and around the back of the head for Simon. She's rounding towards the front shoulder. Sam Jones from Wales, the young fella, swinging hard as he slides around, just pushing his left knee forward and laying it into what we call the long blow. 2 short blows, and the third should be a big sweeping one right through into the base of the ear. Another couple of shots, and he's going to be looking at the last side. Darren Bryant right there as well, John. Into the long blow as well as Kingston Kudu, the young man from Porongaho, on stand number 5.
Just watching that Darren Bryant, he's coming through the grades over the last few years, through the novice now into the junior, and he's showing quality all the way. I've got to take one off you, that Jake Ellingham, he's not from Riversdale in the south, he's from Riversdale here in the Wairarapa. So,
Yeah, righto then.
Yeah, you just can't claim that one, mate. And
No, well, he's going all right. I wouldn't mind claiming him. you guys copying us on the town names as well now?
Oh, well, this North Island was settled first. You fellas are just coming in second. Here we go. Down the last side, the Welshman headed that early lead is Sam Jones on stand number 4, but he's coming out the last leg. A little bit of trouble on that last side. They're very, very strong, these Timatai sheep. So they've done a good job of keeping them fit and healthy, the farmers out there at Timatai. Up the long blow now comes Ellingham on the front stand.
Is there any more entrance to the student challenge? Any more entrance to the student challenge, guys?
Here we go. Bradley Newell out the last leg. Crikey, right at the end of my dropper here. I can't go any further out or I'm going to be taking the wool off the Rousey's top knot. And back he draws it towards the porthole now and gets a little bit more control. Sheep dropping down on him as he goes out those last few shots, and it's starting to feel a little bit of pressure on the bottom of his legs, but he's got it sorted. Got to make sure the sheep doesn't bang the handpiece against the floor and break a tooth off. That can fair tear the strips off your back leg. Here they go, the Welshman now into the long blow. He's picked up the pace again. He's got her out in front of Bryant. Bryant down on stand number 6. Into the long blow he goes. Kuru on 5. He's tucked up against the wall a little bit. He needs to back out or he's going to be shearing right under his machine. But he'll be nice and close for that last side if he can hold that position. Swings it into the long blow now. Big long shots from the middle of the loin right up behind the ear. 3 good shots there. He must have a super wide comb on. That big strong sheep. Wide across the back as he comes over that last side, the money side of the sheep. Likewise here is Simon Green on the 3 stand. Bradley Newell's up the neck. Ellingham's got another one on the board. The second and final one for him. Only 2 sheep. These fellas are liking these sheep that much. They'll go on and shear 20 if you let them. Hit the button goes the Welshman. He says, I'm done and dusted. Doing it pretty well. Bryant's still keeping the score low down there at the far end, but there's nothing wrong with all those scores up there at the moment. Hey, they might show 1 or 2 of these more experienced shearers up later on. Given the chance and time on the board, we're going to see some of these shearers through to the open before too many years go by. Last side now for Bradley Newell. Finishing touches for Bryant. He's kept the job right. Got a couple of little bits of a wriggle. Had 1 sheep judged and by crikey, not much off that one. Jack Ellingham from Riversdale, the Wairarapa, up around the back of the head he comes now. Big sweeping blows from the top of the brisket up the neck and Now, just the difficult part of the sheep he's going to shear at the moment as he swings round behind the ear. A little bit of tension on the back of that ear. Now he uses his wrist and elbow. Needs to be reaching now for the front leg and grip it nicely so he can tension the skin up and trying to eliminate any little scarring that may occur. Any bruising on the skin, the judges out the back are going to pick that up. And animal welfare is at our most high thoughts as we shear these sheep from Te Mātai. Down the hole goes for Newell. He says, I'm hitting the button. What have we got left in this sheep? Oh, he comes to the top of the head. We've got about 15 blows if it was one of our open shearers, but maybe these younger shearers not quite filling up the comb as he comes across the top. 3 over the shoulder, 7 or 8 under it. Doing a pretty good job. Right out the last leg, he'll come in a whisper, you watch him. Oh, but no, this young mother-to-be says, I'm going to show myself off to the public here in Masterton. Let's hope she doesn't escape the truck. Too many dollars at stake here. One of these ewes have been commanding, two-tooth ewes like these have been commanding some terrific money around the country. It's not for their fluff at the moment, it's their breeding ability. Produce multiple lambs over their lifetime. Ladies and gentlemen, that's heat number 4 done and dusted.
Beautiful job, Jack.
Heat number 5, stand 1, Clay Harris. 2, Jeremy Goodger. 3, Kiari Lansing. 4, Richard Lancaster. 5, Sandra Newlands. 6, Caleb Nelson. Heat number 6, can you get it down the left of the stage? Luke Hills. Dalton Tangiwai. Alice Watson. Danielle Boyd. Samantha Baxter. Finn McKenzie.
I must admit it was good to come in here today to feel the vibes for the 60th occasion that this has been run, this competition. The hall was 2/3 full at 12 o'clock. Unheard of in Masterton in a long, long time. It's great to see a very enthusiastic audience supporting the young shearers and wool handlers that have been performing before us today.
And we have the thumbs up from our referee and the green light as well, folks. So we'll set these competitors alight. Timekeepers ready. Competitors set, go. And away we go. Heat number 5 it is this time. Clay Harris from Pew Pew competing on stand number 1. Jeremy Goodger, wool pressing legend from Masterton here on stand 2. Kiara Manson from Pew Pew on 3. Richard Lancaster from Clitheroe in England on stand number 4. Sandra Newland from Ponaroa on 5. And Caleb Nelson from Masterton down there, local man, on stand number 6. Round up this field, all looking for a spot in the top 18, John McBride.
Look at the shoulders on that Jeremy Goodyear. Oh, I don't know why he's got a T-shirt on. He's just covering up that power. He's just restricting himself. So he keeps control of his emotions and what have you, in a way that big arm could just really do some damage if he put it in the wrong place. And that was a beautiful undermine that he did there on stand number 2. Clay Harris from Pew Pew steps up the neck now. A wee bit fine to bone shearer. But he's got a long back and long arms, and he'll be able to reach around those little nooks and crannies of the sheep. Manson on stand number 3. Another one from the Pio Pio, right up there in the middle of the North Island. He's been in a shearing shed most of the summer, but look at those shoulders. Not too much brown suntan for him. Richard Lancaster, one of our visitors from over motherland. Into the long blow goes the Englishman. Loving every minute here, being here in the God's own Masterton, the Golden Shears capital of the world. Sandra Newland turns for home, one of our many female competitors. By golly, it's great to see how they've jumped on the bandwagon here and enjoyed this marvellous sport. They are a treasure to watch, I can tell you, as they just manage to keep the sheep nice and controlled and keep that handpiece nice and flat across the skin. Calvin Nelson down there, the local man, under the shoulder and down and out to the flank. Rolling it out, the big shots on stand number 6. He's going to be the first one in for sheep number 2. They've only got 2 to shear, and he's got it out in 2 minutes and 20, and that's not a bad sort of a time for this grade. Here they go. Looking pretty. Oh, she doesn't want to play the game here for Kahari Mason. He said, crikey, come on, just sit up for me now. Hold your head high. Just be nice to me, you little sweet cheeks, and I'll shear that last leg of yours and get in for the next one. Because 18 shearers will go through out of these 10 heats. So there's 60 odd shearers go down to 18 for the second round. Clay Harris from Pure down the valley. The sheep have got a little bit of wool taken off around the teats area of the sheep. The breeding worth of the sheep has been protected by the crutches, just taking that little bit of fluffy stuff off around the working areas, and they've done a marvellous job. We've talked about the 3,000 to 4,000 sheep that are going to go through the stadium in the next 4 days. It just takes a great lot of people to work it through. The truckies have done a marvellous job, and a little bit of rain that's been about today. The shepherds, they've got to be on farm to just keep the sheep in the right mental state, the right amount of water, the right amount of grass. Too much of any one thing and we could have a disaster shear. But it all looks good here for Wairarapa. Into the long blow now, Nelson. Nobody here from Masterton. They're not even talking to him and encouraging him along as he rolls up the long blow at the front of the field. Closest to might be a man from a lady from Pongaroa, is it? As Sandra Newlands comes across the shoulder on the money side of the sheep. Beautiful job, big sweeping shoulder. Let's see how quick she can get that last side done, because she's actually hit the front. Down and out to the flank. Go straight down and out. That's the story, not round it, down it. And she's keeping that sheep nice and high between her knees. Rolls it out over the tail and going to reach for the stop button. Just as quick as that, 4 minutes and 40 odd seconds. Good shear there from Sandra. And she's put it clean here, a set of heels on these male shearers, by golly, as Clay Harris comes around to the last side now. Jeremy Goodyear, keeping the job night. He says, I'm in that triathlon. I want to make it, but I also want to make the semi-final if I can here in this junior competition. It would be a feather in his cap. He's been representing Masterton here in this pressing competition that's going to start tomorrow for numerous occasions. And around the back of the head he comes. Inky Pinky style. The Englishman's done the job. Norm, there's just 3 to go in this heat number 5.
3 it is, left up there. The front 3 stands still stroking away, and Clay Harris just about to come to a close. He hits the button and the cord, and out the sheep pops, and it's not a bad looking sheep. Pen points are full, but just look at the points down below. Of course, there's still the sheep to judge. 5.5 for Sandra Newlands, to gives her a total of 29.689. Not too bad for Sandra. Kiare Manson. And it's the button and the cord. Now that goes just Jeremy left on the stand. Last front shoulder for Jeremy. And down the last side he'll come as well. And rolling around under the front leg. The rest of the shearers can stretch their backs and watch. The shearing judges will still tick over. As you can see, they swap from time to time. When the bottom one drops off the far end, folks, and walks around and picks up back on stand number 1, it just keeps everything a lot more even. So with the same judges and judging the same shearer for too long, they just keep rotating just to make it as fair as possible for our shearers. Jeremy Goodyear rolls around under the hamstring. Another couple of shots for the big fella from Masterton, and he's going to be looking for his time clock button as well. Give them a hand, folks. Heat number 5, done and dusted.
Heat number 6, Luke Hills, Dalton Tangiwai, Alice Watson, Danielle Boyd, Samantha Baxter, Finn McKenzie. Heat number 7, if you guys could get yourselves organised, assemble to the left of the stage. Zeb Nicklin, Heather Newland, Jaden Sargent, Max Fryer, Heath Barnsdale, Rennie Biggs. Luke, are you down on 6? You're on stand number 1. Luke Hills on 1. Dalton 2, Alice 3, Danielle Boyd 4, Samantha Baxter 5, Finn McKenzie 6. Your names on the screens, guys.
Good, green light. Righto. Everybody happy? Timekeepers right, judges, competitors, go. So we're into the pen once again, ladies and gentlemen. This is heat number 6 of this Farmlands Weekly Junior Shearing Elimination Round. From Matara, we got Luke Hills on the front stand. Dalton Tangiwai Tikikino on stand number 2. Alice Watson from Seddon on stand number 3. On number 4, Danielle Boyd from Dargaville. On 5, Samantha Baxter from Pongaroa. And Finn McKenzie from Wairarapa down the far end on the 6th stand.
This Farmers Weekly Junior Shearing Heat number 6 we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are looking for our top 18. And who's the first one to step up the neck will be Dalton Tangiwai. Up the neck he goes. 2 sheep in the pen to share in this qualifying heat for the junior. And up and round the shoulders he goes as well. Finn McKenzie, up the neck he goes as well. Samantha Baxter, up the neck she goes. Followed by Danielle Boyd as well. But leading the way at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, is the young follower on 1. Luke Hills. Out of the box he comes and shearing along pretty well too. The first one we've seen really jump out of the box and take the time points into consideration. He said, I'm going to give this time clock a bit of a crack. And down and out the flank he goes, shearing along well too. 1 minute 42 is pretty good time for a junior shearer. Down and out the flank he goes. Finishing touches there. And he will be in for his second and final sheep. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Young fella, he's tucking along the right knee. Into the pen he goes. Sheep 2 on the board for him. Young Dalton finishes the long blow for him. Down and over the brisket he goes. Young Alice Watson there on stand 3. Under the final shoulder she goes. Down and out the flank, the girl from Blenheim. Out to the tips of the toes. Very, very renowned for a very good quality job, the young girl. Danielle Boyd out the shoulder she goes and down and into the long blow. Once again, it's great to see the amount of female shearers in these junior and intermediate grades that we will be seeing later on in the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Down and into the long blow goes Boyd. Shearing along pretty well too. Good points on the board. And add on to the board comes Alice with her second sheep. Into the pen goes Dalton. Second and final sheep on the board for him. Up and round the shoulder goes young Lake Hill.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Leading the way at the moment.
1, 2,
into the pen,
1, 2.
Finn McKenzie goes. Add on to the board with his second and final sheep for him. Down the belly he will work. Samantha Baxter. Down and out the flank she goes. Finishing touches for her on her first sheep. Out to the tips of the toes. Danielle Boyd right there with her as well. Stands 4 and 5. Shearing along blow for blow at the moment. Alice Watson. Off comes the belly down for her. First leg done. Undermine Simon. Steps up the neck. Breaks the neck wall open. Takes the cheek wall. Works her way around the shoulder. John, once again, a very, very good heat.
Certainly is. I'm just watching the determination on the Mataro man here on the front stand. By crikey, he went into that pen for sheep number 2 and the look of determination on his face. He was stonewalled. He was just in the zone. And he's hit the button and turned the clock off just like that. What a marvellous dive. It's just a shade over 4 minutes for Luke Hills there on stand number 1. On to Dalton Tangawai from Tikakino. Into the long blow he goes. Alice Watson from Seddon rolling up the long blow now. Quick shots over that big shoulder blade. Go back for another one. Throw it deep and throw it wide and swing up over get up over that backbone. That's the story. Working off the side of the face. All these young female shearers. Danielle Boyd working hard on 4. Samantha Baxter. She had a go in the novice shearer. She's cracking into the junior shear now. I reckon she can go better. Finn McKenzie says, come on lady, give me a chance. I'm into the long blow now. Who's going to be next off? But it looks like it could be Dalton Tangawai here on the stand number 2 from Tikakino, rolling out that last leg. Head down, knees together, toes pointing inwards. And he tries to control that sheep as he comes down the last side. But here comes Alice Watson. She says, don't count me out. Throwing the big 13-tooth comb right back as far as she can and swings it forward again. And about to hit the button now in about 5 minutes and a half. Unofficially, of course, as Danielle Boyd comes right up the middle of the back now. She's swinging hard. Sheep nice and straight along the board. Would be easy to get that long shot in. Now she needs just to swing it around a little bit to get that business end of the sheep back towards the porthole, so she's closer for that last side. Samantha Baxter's just a few shots back, but the man down the end, Finn McKenzie, hasn't given up either, Kerry.
Now you're shearing along well. Once again, just looking up on the board there, ladies and gentlemen, some very, very good points coming along. You see young Finn McKenzie at the moment. 1 second cut on the board at this current stage. Down and out the flank he goes, which is very, very good. Down and out the flank, finishing touches for him. Samantha Baxter and Danielle Boyd, down and out the flank she goes, but it's going to be Finn McKenzie. Well done there, young fella. And Danielle Boyd, down and out the flank she goes, right out for the tips of the toes. Once again, a very, very well shorn sheep. There we go. Well done, Danielle. Finishing touches for her. Shows that sheep off a little bit. Samantha Baxter, there we go. Stand number 5, ladies and gentlemen, down and over the brisket she goes.
Just looking at the program, and Wairarapa must be empty of people. Every second name we just about see in this junior program is from Wairarapa. Must be a heck of a support up there. That's good to see. Come away down in a many hours drive down to the town of Masterton.
Under the final shoulder she comes, Samantha Baxter. In this Farmers Weekly sponsored Junior Shearing Heat number 6 we are, ladies and gentlemen. Looking for that top 18 to go through to our semi-final. Down and out the flank she goes. Once again, it's great to see these young competitors up here having a go in this 60th year of the Golden Shears, ladies and gentlemen. Finishing touches for Samantha, and she'll look for the cord and her time clock, and there we go, ladies and gentlemen, Samantha Baxter.
Heat number 7, stand 1. Zeb Nicklin, Heather Newland, Hayden Sargent, Max Fry, Heath Barnesdale, Brendan Binks. Heat number 7, who can report to the left of his stage, Kyle Rhodes, Calvin Welch, Jerome Petworth, Alice Reeves, James Wilson.
So you just